In the last session, we discussed about select statements, how to write select statements in a different ways. When we use star and when we use individual fields. So you guys must have knowledge on that, right? Today we'll see new ABAP syntaxes. New ABAP syntaxes to select the data, right? How we can use new ABAP syntaxes to select the data from database tables. Now tell me,
to select the data from database table into the program level. So what is the process? We need to write select statements. We need to write select statements. By using the select statements, we can select the data from database tables into our program level, and we store those data in data objects like variables, work areas, or internal tables, correct? To select the data from database table, we need to write select statement, but for the select statement, what is the prerequisite? We need a work area, variable, or internal table, right? So that we can use that internal table or work area in our select statements. When the data is selected, data will be placed into that work area or internal table, correct? So in the regular select statement, how we write? Data, for example, data type some z demo, whatever the table, KNA1 or any table. Now select star from z demo employee into table. It's not select single, right? Sorry, we defined work area. Let me use select single into table is not required, data. And how can you filter the data? How to filter the data? How to filter the data? Filter in the sense, how can you define, like what is the record you want to select?
By using where class,
where condition. By using where condition. Some, for example, empid equal to some employee ID, or you can pass the parameter also, and you can pass conditions like this, multiple conditions. Emp name equal to some ABC, like that. Okay, clear? When you are passing the values like that, please keep in mind that if it is a character type, you need to enclose it in single quotes. If it is a numeric type, you don't need to use single quotes. Okay, so this is the usual select statement, and then if sy hyphen sub rc equal to 0, then next level logic, whatever the logic you want to write, next level logic you can continue with the next level logic, else stop, right? Display some message, stop the process and display some message, because there is no data, right? If there is a data, we execute next level further functionality, right? Again, it is same way how to write select also. Instead of single, we use select. This is in old ABAP syntax or traditional ABAP syntaxes. Now, how can you write same select statement using new ABAP syntax? We call that as inline declarations. We call them as inline declarations. Inline declarations. So here in the same example, if you observe the same example, let's say I need to select only specific fields from this table. I don't want to select all the fields of the record. Then what I need to do? I need to create a data dictionary structure or a type structure. Yes, you need to create a type structure, right, to select only required fields when you don't want to select all the fields. Field 1, type data element. Field 2, type data element. Field 3, type data element. End of ty underscore data. And then define work area or internal table. If you are selecting multiple records, define internal table and then write your select statement. Select single, field 1, field 2, not in the order. You can select any random fields also. You can select any random fields of the table also. Okay, but always make sure to place first field in the first position, next available field in the next position. Okay, next available field of the table in the next position, so that it will be easy to maintain the order. Okay, some field 3 into data where empid equal to some 100 and phone equal to some phone number. I don't need to mention it in the single quotes since it is a number type. Okay, clear? Same, if sy hyphen sub rc equal to 0, then and if proceed with the further logic. If sub rc equal to 0, else stop and display the error message. Now how we write these two statements in the new ABAP syntax? Let's observe that by using inline declarations. In inline declarations you don't need to define work areas or type structures explicitly. How to achieve this? Select single star from, let me expand this, zdemo underscore employee into, let's assume we did not define any work area or any internal table. Let me define here itself into, how to define? In the select statement itself, use at the date data. This is the keyword, at the date data of some lt underscore emp data, sorry, work area, right, wa. You can also take lt, it will create a work area only. Okay, even if you take the lt, it will create the work area only. Okay, but naming convention doesn't suit for the work area, right? And where empid equal to some 100 and the rest of the condition. Here did I define this WIEMP data work area using data statement. Did I define it using data statement? This work area. I did not define it. I am defining in the select statement itself. Now you don't need to use this data statement. Okay? Whatever the fields you are selecting, if you are using select star, it will create the work area with all the fields. Now, if RC equal to 0, then proceed further. Else, stop the process and display the error message. Now, how can we select only required fields? Using inline declaration. Using inline declaration. Let's see. Now we need to select only required fields. If you need to select only required fields, what is the process we followed? We created a type structure with required fields and we defined the work area with respect to the type structure and we selected the data, right? Now, how can we do that in inline declarations? Using new ABAP syntaxes, that they are inline declarations like this. Select single field 1. Here you need to use please observe, here you need to use comma to separate the fields. In new ABAP declaration you need to use comma to separate the fields. Field 2, field 4, field 6, some random fields from the table. From demo employee where emp id equal to some 100. Okay, where is into? What is the syntax to define the work area? What is the syntax to define the work area or internal table? At the rate data of data. That is the syntax to define the work area in the select statement using inline declaration. Okay? Clear? You need to use commas in between the fields. That is mandatory when you are using inline declaration. And for example, you are not passing the constant, you are passing some parameter. You defined a parameter and you are passing it here. How to pass that? In the normal select statement, you can pass like this, right? Where emp id equal to parameter name or variable name. But in new ABAP syntax, whenever you are passing the parameters in a where condition or variables or any other value in the where condition, you need to use at the rate in front of that. That is the mandatory rule to be followed. Okay? Clear? You need to use at the rate. If you are using parameter here instead of the value, here also you need to pass at the rate of parameter or at the rate of variable. Okay? That is mandatory. Please remember. Okay? Similarly, how can you select data from internal table? Same. Select field 1, field 3. I'm taking some random fields, okay, from the table. Field 7 from table name. Into table. Now we are selecting multiple, more than one record, right? We are not using select single. Into table. How to define the internal table?
At the rate data.
At the rate data of
IT underscore data.
IT or LT or IT. If I use delay, what will happen? If I use WA, what will happen? Is it going to create the internal table or work area?
Work area.
No. I'm always telling you, it is just a naming convention. You are just giving a name. Okay? You choose a boy and name him a girl's name. Right? Is he a boy or not? If you name girl's name, that doesn't mean that he is a girl, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what here. But we should provide some proper name, right? So that we can easily understand what type of object it is. Okay? That's why I am giving that. You can give any name. It will create that object. Okay? Depends on this. That will decide this one. If you use table, it will create a internal table. Okay? But if you write the syntax like this, it will create work area automatically. Okay? Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
I can give any name here. I'll give some random name. It will create an internal table with that name. Okay? Data where empid equal to, let's assume we have already defined a parameter or variable lv underscore empid. You have to provide like this. If you are providing the constant value, @ is not required. Okay? Clear? But it is always recommended, don't pass the values like this, direct values. Okay? Don't pass the direct values. For that we can use constants. We have observed the constants, right? We have created the constants, right? When we are working with variables. So create a constant for these kind of values and pass the constant name here. Don't pass the hard-coded value. These are called hard-coded values. In your projects, these are called hard-coded values. Direct values should not be provided. Okay? It will work, but that is not the proper programming standard. Okay? Define a constant and pass the constant name here. Clear? This is how we define the internal table. Is everyone clear? Which one is easier? This previous syntaxes, old ABAP syntaxes or new ABAP syntaxes to select the data? New ABAP syntaxes. Inline declarations are easy and convenient, right? You don't need to create a type structure. You don't need to define the data element, work areas, internal tables. You can directly use it in the select statement. It will define here itself and populate the data. Okay? What are the important points to be remembered? To use inline declarations, you need to use this @ symbol data. Okay? And when you are using individual fields, you need to use a comma. Okay? To separate the fields. And what is the other important thing? In the where condition, when you are passing the variables or parameters, you have to use this escape symbol. We call this as escape symbol or @ symbol. Okay? For example, for some reason, the data element or internal table is already declared. It is already declared for some purpose that is already available. Can we use that in inline declarations? Can we use that already defined work area in the inline declaration? Select field 1. If that work area or internal table is already available, that is defined previously by using data statement, that is already defined but some other purpose, can we use that work area or internal table in our select statement using inline declarations? Field 2, field 3 from zdemo employee into table. What I am saying, internal table is already available. It is defined for some purpose, but it is already available. Okay, by using data statement, it is already defined, right? How can we use that here? Using, don't use a data statement, just use @LT underscore emp data. Here we don't need to use @data, okay? Where emp id equal to @p underscore emp id. When we use this, when it is already defined. Some ty underscore emp data. Let's assume there is some type structure which is already defined. Okay, we don't need to use @data, just use @. Okay, when you want to use inline declarations or new ABAP syntaxes using already available work area or internal table. Clear? Let's create a program. For that, we'll choose one table. We'll choose one database table. So you are already familiar with the custom tables, how to select. Going forward, we are going to use standard tables, SAP standard tables. Okay, Mara. What is Mara table? Material master data. Mara is a material master data. For everything we have a master data, right? For many attributes like customer, employee, vendor, everything will have a master data, right? What is the customer master data table? KNA1. We have already observed that. Like that, material also having one master data, material master data. Whatever the materials that you are using in your organization, those should be available in this Mara table if you want to use it for any transactions. Okay, materials might be raw materials, finished products, right? Depends on the material type, there are different materials. Okay, you can see all the materials and its properties in this table. Materials and its properties in the table, Mara table. Okay, properties in the sense unit of measurement. What is the material number? What is the unit of measurement we are using for that material number? For this, observe the first material 2. This is the material number, Matner. Matner is the material number. It is the primary key field of the table. And here, where is it? Mains. Mains means unit of measurement. What is the unit of measurement for this material? EA. EA means each piece. Each piece. Okay. For this one, material number 5, unit of measurement is kg. Again, for material 8, unit of measurement is each. Each means one piece. What is the price of one piece? Like for example, if you need to buy televisions, right? When you go to the shop, what you are going to ask? Are you going to ask 10 kgs of TV or one TV? One TV. That is each. EA, each, right? You know what is the unit of measurement for televisions? Each, EA. For example, if you need to buy some groceries, right? You are going to ask in kgs or in liters, right? For example, if you need to buy some iron, you are not going to ask in kgs, right? Maybe we can use kgs also, but that doesn't make sense. We calculate it in tons, right? So it depends on the material. It has unit of measurement and different other properties. Properties like storage conditions, right? For example, there is a material called ice cream. There is a material called ice cream. Can we store it in any place?
Alright.
No. There should be special storage conditions required, right? Storage conditions will be available in the Mara table. For example, if you take some vaccines, right, they should be stored in some certain temperature. So all those details will be maintained in the material master data. Material and that its corresponding master data. Okay. Do we maintain the material name here? Here we have only number. But where do we maintain the name? Description of the material. For that we have concept called text tables. Here in this, when you go to the master table, you can see here, go to text table, go to text table. This is the text table for Mara table, MAKT. MAKT is the text table for material master data. What is the use of text table? Here we maintain the descriptions. What is the name of the material? In Mara table we just maintain the number. We don't maintain the name. But where can you find the name of that material? In a text table. Right? Text table. In text table you can find the name of the material. For Mara, for material master data, MAKT is the text table. Similarly, for many master tables there will be text tables configured. How can you find the text table? Open the master table, go to text table. Okay? Why we are not going to maintain name of the material in the same table? We can maintain it in, we can add one more field, right? And we can add the name also, right, in the same table, Mara table. But why are we not maintaining in Mara table? Why we are maintaining the names in a separate table? And observe the keys here. What are the primary keys here? Matner, that is material number, that is one primary key. What is the second primary key? Spras means language. Spras means language. These two are the primary keys of this text table. If you observe any text table, Spras, language key is the common field. Language key is the common field in any text table related to any data. And corresponding primary key. Since we are it is material master data, we have Matner as a primary key. Then tell me why we have separate text tables. Why can't we maintain the description in the same table? Text tables are used for language translation. What is the use of text tables? Automatic language translation. When a Japanese user logged into the ERP, in which language he needs to display that material description? Japanese language. When a German user logged into the system, in which language he wanted to see that material description? German. Right? So for that reason we maintain the text in the text tables. And here what is the primary key? Language key also a primary key, so that we can maintain one description in many languages. One material number description in how many languages? Many languages. For example, take one material, execute the text table, observe the data. Observe material number 9. Observe material number 9. It is maintained in two different languages. I don't know what is A. Arabic, maybe Arabic. There are many languages, right? Let me find some materials which are maintained in multiple languages. If you observe this material number, it is maintained in two different languages, English and French. English and French. When the English user logged in, this material description will be displayed. Subcontext FC. When the French user logged in, this description will be displayed. iPhone French automatically. Okay. So what is the use of text tables?
Language translation.
automatic language translation. Go to text table to find the text table of the master table. Okay, clear? It is very important interview question. Even I'll take another session on this, don't worry. Now we'll select some fields from Mara table. If we use select star, what will happen? How many fields are there in this table? 345 fields, right? If you use select star, all these 345 fields data will be selected, but that is not really required. Okay, that's why whenever you are selecting the data, select only required fields. Now we create a program using inline declarations. Going forward, we are going to use inline declarations only. Okay. Save it in a local package. Now define a parameter p underscore. What is the field? Material ID field. Matner, right? What is the data element? Matner. Data element name is also same. Okay. This is the material number. Matner means material number. Type. We are taking Matner as a filter criteria to filter the data. Now write the select statement. Do I need to define any work area or internal table to use inline declarations? Select single star from Mara into @data, some work area name, LS or WA, whatever. Okay, I'll take LS underscore Mara, and where Matner equal to @p underscore Matner. Okay, because I am using a parameter here. Clear? Check the syntax, no syntax errors. If sub rc equal to 0, and if display the data, okay, else I will display a message. As of now we use the write statement, right, to display some message or some output. Let's use, that is write statement used to display the output, not the message. Okay, so we use a statement message to display the messages to the user. Status of the program, is it executed successfully, is there any error, right? We display the message using a message statement. Message, no data available. Type, there are different types of messages. Don't worry about the types, I'll take separate session on the messages. Okay, type, is it a error or is it just want to display some status? Do you want to display the information? Depends on that. We are going to display the type of the message. For example, if there is no data, I'll provide some error message using code E. That should be in capital letter. Please observe, message ID should be, type should be in capital letter E, or yes, yes for status messages. When something is successful, we display that, hey, this process is successfully completed. We display that status messages. When we display error message E, when something is failed, always remember, once the error message is triggered, the program execution will be terminated. It won't proceed further. Okay, when the error message is raised. Okay, but if the status message is raised, the program next level statements also will execute. For now, we'll display the status message, because what is the error? Tell me, what is the error?
Subarc SY
SY hyphen subarc. This is the proper statement. Pretty printer. Observe this option, pretty printer. This is to align the text in a proper order. Let's say I'm doing like this, some incorrect format. Let's click on pretty printer. It will align the source code in a proper way. Okay, nothing to do with business logic, but it will format the code in a proper alignment. You need to maintain the text selection text for PLS Code Matner. I'm not maintaining that. Now here it is showing help option, F4 help. Why? Because double click on the Matner domain, go to value ranges. A value table is assigned. That's why it is showing help, value help. Looks like it is not working here, but it should work usually. Try it in 2020 or 2021. Let me enter some material number, execute. It is displaying that single record. Since we are using select star, it is displaying all the fields of the table, that specific record, right? Let me keep a breakpoint. We enter some input that should be available in the table. That material number 2 should be available in Mara table. Then only this select statement will work. F5 subarc 0. What is the work area? Double click. So this is the work area that is automatically created with all the fields of the, how many fields? 304 fields. 304 fields, right? Let me enter some incorrect value. I don't know that is available or not in the table. Execute. F5. Subarc is 4. That means select statement is failed. Whatever the value you are passing, that may not be available in the table. Then message will be triggered like this. No data available. Okay. Let me change it to error message. I am entering some incorrect value which is not available in the table. F5, subarc 4, F8. Now, what type of message it is? This is error message. Error message. This is error message. You can see the color also. It will terminate the program execution. Okay. Now, let's select the data with only required fields instead of select star. I will select some fields. Material number, that is important field. What is the primary key of this table? Material number, right? Excluding MA and DT. Material number is the primary key of this table. We are passing that in the where condition, right? Material number, I'll take this one, ERSDA. ERSDA means when it is created date, material number, comma, created date, who created it, ER name, who created the material, comma, I'll take some material type. What is the type of the material? Material type nothing but is it a raw material, finished product? There are different types of materials. Okay, that's it. I don't need to do anything. That's it. Now how many fields will be available in that work area? Only 4 fields. We are using 4 fields, right? Let's check. Execute. F5, sub RC0, double click on the work area, double click. We have 4 fields. That record contains how many fields? Only those 4 required fields. Okay, created date, created by, who created this, and material type. Here, similarly you can take any number of any fields from the table, whatever the fields you need. Okay, clear for everyone? Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
I will comment this. I will create a select statement for internal table. Select star from Mara into table @data LT underscore Mara, where Matner equal to P underscore Matner. If we pass the material number as input, how many records we can get? If we pass the material number as input for the Mara table, how many records we can get? If we pass only the material number,
1 record.
1 record, because Matner is the only primary key of this Mara table, right? So instead of Matner, we'll pass some material type or created date or any other field. Okay, we'll pass material type. Material type is a non-primary key field, right? So this value might contain repeated entries. Execute the table data. If you observe the data, material numbers are unique in this table, but observe the remaining fields, they might repeat, right? User ID is repeating, date might be repeat, because they are all non-primary key fields, right? Material type, MTART is the material type field. For first material, ERSD, second material ZBSA, ROHD, ROH is repeating, right? ROH is repeating many times. That means material type value can be same for different materials, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So if we use material type kind of values, how many, for example, take ROH, go back, pass in the filter, until it's opened. Let me change the parameter. I am taking material type, I think MTART. Data element is also MTART. Is it opened? Yeah. Material type, I will provide ROH. Check the number of entries. How many materials are there with the same material type? 111 materials with the same material type. Okay, let me take material type as input here. Let me take material type as input and pass the material type here. Instead of material number, MTART equal to at the rate p underscore mtr. If s5 hyphen sub rc equal to 0, then display the output, else display some message if data is not available. Okay, here what we use, lt mara. Okay, let's see. Execute. Will provide ROH or any other value. Okay, let me enter ROH as material number, sorry, material type, ROH, sorry, H. Execute. How many records are selected?
111.
With 300 fields. How many fields? 300 fields. Each record contains how many fields? Each record contains how many fields? 300 fields. If you take material number 80, how many fields this material contains? 300 fields, like Matner, ERSDA, created time, created by, all these we have around 300 fields. Okay, display the data. So this is by using internal table we are displaying all this data. Okay, so where condition is very important. If you are selecting a single record or multiple records are dependent on where conditions. Okay, on the table field, if you take material number as input, you can select always only one single material because that is the primary key. If you use any non-primary key fields in the where condition, what will happen? There is a chance of selecting more records, one or more records. Okay. Yes. For example, if you take a student table, if you are using employee ID to select the data, if you enter the employee ID, sorry, student ID, how many records you are going to get for each student ID? 1. For example, if you are using branch to select the students, instead of you are not using student ID, you are using branch. For example, CSC, you can get multiple records, right? Whatever the students in the CSC branch, you can select all of them, right? So depends on your where condition, number of records will be depends. Okay. Now select only required fields. Select only required fields. Select Matner. Maybe I'll copy and paste this. Matner, comma. Okay, that's it. Check the syntax. Activate. Now execute the program. ROH. F6 or F5. I am providing ROH as input. So how many records I am able to select? How many records are there?
11 records.
111 records with how many fields? With only 4 fields. We did not select all the 300 fields. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fields for each record. Okay? Clear? Which one is easy? Using inline declarations or old ABAP syntax where we need to define type structure, internal table, and you need to write the select statement. Inline declarations are easy. Okay? Easy and convenient. But you need to remember these rules. You need to use comma and you need to use these escape signs. Whatever the values you are passing in where conditions. For example, now we are taking only one input, right? That is material type. You can also take multiple inputs. Multiple inputs. For that you need to define one more parameter. For example, for our, we'll take industry sector. Industry sector, that is MBRSH. Mechanical, there are many industry sectors. So let's take industry sector also. What is the field name for industry sector? MBRSH. What is M? If you click on this, you can check the name of that. What is M means? M means mechanical engineering, P means pharmaceuticals, R means manufacturing, S means aerospace, right? There are many industry sector. One is retail, C for chemical industry. So let's take industry sector also. Let's filter the data by both material type and industry sector. What is the data element of industry sector? MBRSH. MBRSH is the data element, comma P underscore MBRSH type MBRSH. I have taken two parameters here, and MBRSH equal to P underscore MBRSH. Use escape sign. Now what it will do? It will filter the records by these two values. Okay? We are using and, please remember. Both conditions should be true. ROH, industry sector, I will enter M. Enter. So these are the records which we got for, maybe let me show you in debug mode. Like that, in general projects we are going to use multiple parameters, not only single parameter in the selection screen. We need to handle with multiple. How many records are selected this time? 75 records. Why? Because we are filtering the data by industry sector also. Material type should be ROH and industry sector should be M. That's what our input, right? For example, we'll use like this. Is it going to work or not? Check. Not equal to whatever the value we entered. For your easy understanding, I'll add MBRSH also here in the output. If you practice immediately, it will be very easy for you. If you don't practice for the next 1 or 2 days, everything will be blank. Now execute. I'll provide ROH and industry sector as M. F6. Check the internal table. Now how many records are selected? 36 records. Why? Because we are selecting records which are not equal to M. Display the output. Observe the industry sector. All the records are other than M. Okay? Because I am using not equal to. Okay? You can also use this. Equal to, not equal to. Clear? For example, if you use R, what will happen? Instead of and, it will select the data. Either this is true or this is true. It won't check for both conditions. It will select the data for any true condition. Okay? If you use R. Clear? That is about inline declarations which we use in select statements. We can also use some case statements and advanced syntaxes. So we'll see that later. For now, these inline declarations are enough. Okay. So start using inline declarations. Going forward we will be working only on inline declarations only. Okay.